we have another guest speaker who is with immense number of expertise, areas, domains, being a TV actor, a motivational speaker, anchor, and so much more. I would like to now call upon Shekhar Vijayan to come up on the stage and take the stage forward for your session. Can we have a huge round of applause, guys? Now we have a celebrity speaker, finally.
Thanks, Twinkle. Can we clap for Kaushik, everybody? Can we clap for Twinkle? I think she's very, very nice, very warm words. Can we clap for everybody here? Twinkle, all of you. Come on, come on. Don't be so miserly of yourself. Can we clap for the photographer? He's making all of us look good. Okay. So so before I start, this is what I do. Yeah, and I believe in this very interesting quote: you don't win the silver, you lose the gold. I'm a big fan of Martina Navratilova because I believe she's somebody who's been an outlier. And the topic I'm going to talk about is EI and storytelling, which I think, and I've always believed from the time I was in the corporate circle, from the time I was studying in school, these are the superpowers of the 21st century. If you don't have these super skills, you are a loser. Let me just lay it out to you right now. You have to have these skills. EI and storytelling. If my stories are not effective, if your stories are not effective, nobody would want to listen to you as a coach, as a leadership coach, as a parent, as a husband, as a wife, as a lover, as a prospective lover, anything. I think storytelling is going to be the most important skill. And when I talk about storytelling, I'm talking to you about the fact that you all are an average of the 5 people you have around you. So look around yourself. If those 5 people around you are not good enough, you should be comfortable in your own company. So it's very important to understand yourself inside out, which basically means we're living in a day and age where the apps are controlling us. If you notice, we have Instagram, we have Facebook, we have Threads now, we have Twitter, LinkedIn. Everything has got one format, which is stories. And all the stories are 30 seconds long. Why 30 seconds? Why not 1 minute? Because they believe that the audience attention is only for 30 seconds. That's the attention of my dog. A little more than that, I think, 45 seconds, depending on what I show in front of her. But my point is, we are dealing with a generation, we're dealing with a clientele, which are looking at your stories. So if your stories are not strong, if your stories are not powerful, if your stories cannot make people laugh, cry, and feel vulnerable, that you should get goosebumps on your skin, then the story is not effective enough. I'm sorry, because you're dealing with a lot of competition here. And that's why I say you don't win the silver, you lose the gold. And the reason why I'm talking about stories, and the reason why I'm talking about EI, about emotional intelligence, I always believe, there's a lot of hoo-ha around IQ, and we have so many education institutions in India which talk about top-graded, candidates coming out from there, but we find in the news the same people committing so many atrocities. Where I'm not generalizing that, but I just say that cannot be a de facto standard of deciding that this person is good or this person is bad. I think we have to live in a world where your EI should determine what you are in life. Because I think throughout the day today, we spoke about kindness, we spoke about gratitude, we spoke about, being more given. And I think this entire session, in the last, 4-5 hours, was all about giving. There was so much knowledge which was shared, right? Yes or no? Yes. Yeah. Now, I have to ask all of you a question. What is important for you? Is it the journey? Is it the destination? Or is it the company?
Company.
Company? Okay, this side says company. So we're going to play housey here. Okay. Journey. Abhi bolo. Journey. Okay. Okay, so interestingly, this changes in every situation. Your journey, your destination, your company can change completely. And I'll tell you why. I had made a trip to this place called Mount Kailash, Mansarovar Lake. I think that's one of the most beautiful places on planet Earth, which is not in India. And I have to go through Nepal, and I reached Mount Kailash, Mansarovar Lake. That was the most soul-stirring experience of my life. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because I feel the energy here is special. And I genuinely believe we are all about energy. Our energy takes us where we are. And when I went to Mount Kailash, Mansarovar Lake, it's a 53-kilometer trek around the mountain, which I traversed by foot. Not because I was very adventurous, but because I fell off the yak. And I didn't trust the yak enough. I was like, "Humse na ho payega." I know. Because these yaks, when you're on those yaks, and don't even try yak milk which you get there because it doesn't taste like milk. You're dealing with a lot of things when you go to a place like Mount Kailash, Mansarovar, not just the altitude, the attitude, the people around you, because there people don't speak English or Hindi, and you have to deal with, eating very cold food. But the point is, you're doing that because of your love for Lord Shiva, of your love for adventure, of your love for, just being there, because it's a beautiful experience. And the reason I'm telling you this right now is, I want to take you there. So I made this 53-kilometer trek. I went with my in-laws. There were people in front of me, there were people behind me, and suddenly on the second day, when we went to this place called Dolama Pass, which is the highest point in Mount Kailash, where you don't get oxygen, it seems. And I think it's the toughest part, because from there you can actually see Lord Shiva's visage. You can actually see Lord Shiva. And I'm not somebody who's God-fearing. I'm not somebody who believes that God is great, God is there. I believe godliness lies within all of us, which is a fact. There is God within all. There's an energy, I believe. And I went there for the pure reason that I'm very curious by nature. I'm very creative by nature, and I want to make my wife happy. So I said, okay, let me just go and see this show. And that was an adventure of a lifetime. My God. The second time when I was in Dolama Pass, so one of the Gurkhas there told me, Sherpas there told me that, don't ever go out alone. Don't ever walk alone. Walk with somebody in the front or in the back. I said, what rubbish is this? He's saying, no, sir. There is a mirage here, which basically means start visualizing things, because nature can start playing tricks with you. I said, that's complete balderdash. That's complete rubbish, which was a fact. So I started walking, and I realized that there's nobody in front of me, there's nobody behind me, and then nature starts playing tricks with you. Nature is a real showstopper, by the way. Whatever we might think about ourselves, nature decides everything. It started snowing, it started getting windy, it started getting hot, it started getting cold. I was wearing 4 layers of clothing. I was wearing masks, which was 5 years back, so I think I saw the future at that point of time. I was wearing grey eye glasses, not because I was looking cool, because you have to avoid the sun rays. The sun is right in front of you. And there is no vegetation there, there is no animals there, there are no plants there, there's nothing there at all. It's just you and Mother Nature. And that's when it hits you hard. Because suppose I die here, kya hoga aisa? But then I thought, if I die here also, theek hai. This is the final destination, they say. They make you, Red Cross makes you sign a note, by the way, when you're in China, saying that if you pass away here, we're not going to do anything for you, you will be buried here. And you're like, okay, I can't do anything about it. It's like you swallowed a banana, you don't know what to do with it. Like, I can't go back to India, now can I start? I only asked for it, right? So I have to stay here and go through it. I said, okay, let me just go. So me being the brave and being the adventurous guy that I was in my head, I went, started walking. Nobody's behind me, nobody's in front of me. And I realized that there is no vegetation, nothing happening around you. And so when you're in a place like Mount Kailash, Mansarovar, it's almost like running a marathon. When you're on a big marathon, when you're on the last lap, that's when you start feeling really tired. And it's a 50-kilometer trek, so you're feeling very cold, you're feeling very hot. And your mind is playing tricks with you. And then I realized that this is not going to work like this. I started walking, there was a rock. I rested on the rock, and the Gurkha had told me, the Sherpa had told me that, if you see the rock, just count 20 to 1. I said, kya bakwas kar rahe hain? Count 20 to 1. I said, why should I count 20 to 1? What's the reason for it? He said, no, you should count. It allows you to breathe, allows you to take in time, allows you to look at things around, allows you to meditate. So, we are the cool lot, right? Come from Bangalore, nothing can affect us. I said, no way. But then, in a matter of seconds, I realized this is what he said is the truth. So I counted 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. Almost like a rocket launcher. And at 0, I blacked out. And then somebody came and gave me a bottle of water. I drank the water, and there was a certain spurt of energy in me. And before I could thank the person, that person disappeared. Okay? And my God, I was like, how is this possible? You constantly thinking, and then you suddenly get a fresh lease of life. You walk like you've actually walked a marathon. Just through 4 layers of clothing, two socks, 4 layers of dresses all around you. You're like walking. Earlier you used to walk like an infant, now you're walking like a normal person. As soon as I reached the barracks, everybody started clapping for me. They thought I was dead. That's what they say. Now, supposedly during this entire journey, there was a butterfly with me. A butterfly at Mount Kailash, Mansarovar Lake, at Mount Kailash. The Sherpa there came and touched my legs. He said, sir, you're blessed by God. Blessed by God. God and dog, yes. We are all special. Sorry. I said, really? He said, yes. He said, because supposedly the legend goes in Mount Kailash, nobody dies. Nobody dies in Mount Kailash because the average age group of people who go there are the people who Kaushik mentioned are in the play school, more than 60 plus, 70 plus. Nobody dies in Mount Kailash because the legend goes that in Mahabharata, the final destination was Mount Kailash. So if you are saved by God in some form. So the butterfly who came in would have been God in some form. I said, okay, could be some energy, but I didn't realize where he's coming at. Now after that happened, we had to go to Mansarovar Lake. Mansarovar Lake is a lake where the gods take bath. And I didn't believe it. I said, how can gods come and take bath here? Supposedly gods do come and take bath in the form of stars. And it's a vision to behold. You have to be there to understand what I'm saying. There are no hotels opposite Mansarovar Lake. Any idea why? Like the hotels are there, but no windows in the hotels. Any idea why there's no hotels? There is no. You're not supposed to see the gods take bath. That's what they say. So I went to Mansarovar Lake because that is the final part of the journey. Typically, you're supposed to go to Mansarovar Lake first, do the puja, do the parikrama, yes, which Jagi Vasudev ji does, and then everybody goes. But here I did the proper 53-kilometer trek. Reached Mansarovar Lake, and nobody wanted to come with me because, you know, when you're in the mountains, everything is, you start feeling old, your skin starts drying out, you start growing nails. It's literally like what you see in movies like Castaway and all, literally like that. Your hair grows long and you feel very haggard. You're not taking bath also for many days because you've been in this beautiful place, right? And your mind starts playing tricks with you again. So I went to Mansarovar Lake, and the lake is right there till where Adarsh is standing. And I'm not able to walk to the lake and nobody else wants to come with me. As soon as I reach the lake, I start crying. And that's when I realized this is the moment which is all about happiness. The journey, the destination, or the company. And I realized the journey is great, the destination is great, the company is my own company. And you know, that moment I realized, you read about in books about, I'm a voracious reader. Michael Schumacher, Sachin Tendulkar, all these guys, what they say, we only see the ball at 140 kilometers. I was like, kya ho gaya? That moment, when I was there, I cried. That moment is when I realized that there is something special. And I cried only for 20 minutes. That 20 minutes was such a special moment in my life. Because I cried out of peace, out of happiness, out of some kind of achievement, which I still cannot describe to you. But I got goosebumps that day. And I felt so light when I spoke, when I did that, when I went through that entire experience. Now that was a life experience I got, which showed me a lot about what EI is all about. And I also believe EI is not just about your travel, it's also about watching things which happen around you. And here I should bring in my dog, Sunshine, who I'm sure everybody knows about, even Arnab Goswami knows about it. She's got the most beautiful eyes in the world. She's very curious. And sometimes I figure out, you have a lot of time to look at dogs, right? The dogs are always watching, you're watching them. It's like who can blink first. It's always like that. So usually she wins because she doesn't blink when she sees food. Whereas in my case, I blink all over. So I realized that she lives in the present, not the past or the future. And I also realized, if you want to understand EI, you look at animals around you. They will give you a lot of love without expecting anything in return. And I think that should be a superpower which we all should have as leaders, as coaches. The art of listening. The art of listening is not judging. The art of listening is just listen. Just listen to the silence around you. Just listen to the pauses. Just listen to the people, because people want to be heard. Leadership is all about listening. And from dogs, I'll move on to someone who loves dogs a lot. Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Okay? We speak about Mahendra Singh Dhoni, everybody says, invariably you will always have people in the room who like him, and there will be a minuscule person who hate him for whatsoever reason. So we were coming in the cab today, and there was this cab driver who said he's a big fan of Mahendra Singh Dhoni. I said, why? I just like him because he's CSK boss, the boss. But you realize Mahendra Singh Dhoni is very good at EI. Have you noticed? If you read about the kind of culture he's created in CSK, everybody seems a lot like him only. If you follow cricket, Ajinkya Rahane sounds like him. Jadeja is also becoming like him. The coach is also like him. And this man, you don't see him spending time during victory or defeat with the team. When the team gets a trophy, you always see Dhoni is always giving to the youngest person in the team. That's the culture he's created. And I'm surprised how come Harvard has not created a masterclass on Dhoni. Case study सब पे Harvard है. If you scroll through LinkedIn, Harvard's got case studies in every Tom, Dick and Harry. Why not on Dhoni? That's when I realized there is a lobby at play. There is a lobby at play, okay? Because of which they want you to see what they want you to see. And that's where Indian Leadership Academy comes in. Because this is truly Indian in nature. This is truly Indian in nature in terms of warmth, in terms of camaraderie, in terms of knowledge, everything. You won't find that anywhere else. Now when we speak about EI, we speak about Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Everybody's heard of Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay. Now Muhammad Ali was a very popular boxer. By the way, he had the maximum knockouts in the history of boxing. Muhammad Ali also was known as Cassius Clay. But he was also famous for the fact that he didn't fight for the Americans in the war. He said, I'm not going to fight for you in the Vietnam War because I don't believe in it. They took his championship back. How many minutes do I have?
You can take another 2 minutes, it's fine.
Okay. So I'm coming to the end of it. I'll tell you why. So Muhammad Ali, okay, Muhammad Ali, if you get a chance, Muhammad Ali was a great boxer, but he was a great storyteller. You know that? I don't know if you've seen his videos. He asked his parents, why is Jesus Christ not black? Why is white? Forget about the religion, forget about ethnicity. Muhammad Ali made some very important points at his point of time, during his time. So it's very important to understand these characters, their relevance, and I would help you as a coach or as a leader, because I think as leadership, we should have experience which we can talk about. I also lost my daughter. Her name was Akira a few years back. Okay? And I believe her energy is propelling me wherever I am and taking me forward. Now the reason why I talk about death is, we have to understand that death is going to happen to all of us. Happiness and death is temporary. Yeah, it's temporary, yeah. And there was a situation when I did a show with Jeffrey Archer. And a day before I did a show with Jeffrey Archer, my daughter passed away. And you know, her name was Akira, named after Akira Kurosawa, which also means graceful strength. And I love Akira Kurosawa, he's a beautiful director. If you get a chance, watch his movies, very nice. My wife doesn't know that I named it after Akira. She thought Akira's graceful strength, but Akira's a real name. And you know, with Akira, what happened was she was a preterm child and she was with us for 108 days and then she passed away. The time she passed away, she was put in a cardboard box. That's when it hits you hard. That's when it hits you hard. My God, this is life. That is the only time I cried. But there was another family celebrating the arrival of the child in this place called Cloud 9, which is so metaphorical, Cloud 9. They were celebrating the arrival of the child. I was mourning the loss of my child, and next day I had a show with Jeffrey Archer. I did the show with Jeffrey Archer, and my child was put in a cardboard box, and we did the show. Then you have a wine and cheese party after the book launch gets over, where everybody comes in and they kiss in the air, so to say, and it's nice to see everybody coming in and celebrating. They came in and Jeffrey Archer came and looked at me and said, "You got red eyes." I said, "Yeah." "Did you not sleep well last night?" I said, "How could I not sleep? I was engaging with you." He said, "No, there's something wrong." I said, "I lost my daughter last evening." He was shocked. And he's a storyteller. Jeffrey Archer, if you've read his books, he's a beautiful storyteller. He's never at a loss for words. Okay? He was stumped. He told me, "You're a brave man." I said, "No, I'm not a brave man." I said, "The energy of my daughter is taking me forward." And that's when I learned a very important lesson that day. You know, that nothing is permanent in life. Happiness, success, failure. That taught me so much that, you know, today if I fail, I know I can rise up and do what I can if I which explains the fact that I've engaged with people like Jeffrey Archer, to Sudha Murthy, to Vidya Balan a couple of days back, and also with Arnab Goswami on the debates. Now coming to Arnab Goswami, we've done a lot of work on Sushant Singh Rajput, where we fought for him and everything around. That's when you feel that you've done something important in life. It's like the butterfly effect. You know, when you do something, it makes a difference sometimes. You start sleeping well in the night. And there's never been a moment where I have not slept well in the night. I go to sleep at say 11, I'm up by 4:30 in the morning without an alarm. Because I'm at peace with myself. I know for a fact right now, I have the power of story. I have the power of emotional intelligence, which is a superpower. And if you see any world leader around you, they're using that skill to the best knowledge. It could be Barack Obama, it could be our Honorable Prime Minister, it could be Nelson Mandela, it could be Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. All of them are great exponents of EI because they have stories to tell. If you want to be a successful leader, if you want to be a successful coach, while the ILA team is watching me and want to grab the mic away from me, You have to have great EI. You have to be kind. You have to have gratitude. You have to share knowledge. You have to have life experiences. And for life experiences, you have to talk to people around you. You have to know what's going on in their lives. We have to stop being very selfish about ourselves and start knowing what's happening. Conversation is extremely important. We're living in a world where our apps have taken over us without giving us anything in return, by the way. For the last few days, I've been spending time with my mother in Kerala. I think that's the most beautiful moments I spend with the mother. You know, when I sleep in the night with her, I'm pressing her legs. I feel, you know, I'm blessed. Small moments in life that makes it very special. So you have not make sure you don't take anything for granted. Make each every moment count. Each moment right now at 3:38 in the afternoon is the most special moment for you because I'm engaging with such special leaders and such a diverse community. We've got somebody from Manipal here, we've got Manipur here, we've got somebody from Gujarat here, we've got somebody from Bangalore here, which itself is a city in itself. We've got such a diverse group. I am blessed, you are blessed, we all are blessed. And I genuinely believe the universe is conspiring to make this moment very special. I believe there's a lot of energy which we have. It's how you use that energy. And the number one fear in the world is not the fear of dying, by the way. The number one fear in the world is not the fear of dying. The number one fear in the world is the fear of talking on stage. If you can conquer that fear, very few can conquer that fear, by the way. And I know that because I've talked to so many people, they shiver when I hold their hand. Great speakers, great actors, okay? I won't take names, great actors who you see on screen, they're great actors, but when they come on stage, they can't talk 2 syllables properly. If you can come and talk here, I think you're a rock star. Thank you, people. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for indulging in me. Thank you. Thank you.
Can we have a huge round of applause for Shekhar Vijayan? Without the comment. Yeah, in the interest of time, we had to, but you really deserve immense gratitude and felicitation. And for this, I would like to call upon who wants to be an EI coach? Who wants to be an EI coach? Here, I. Come. We would like Shekhar to be felicitated by an emerging EI coach. Thank you so much, Shekhar. Well, the fun doesn't stop here. It's just the beginning, right? So how many of us are excited for the